Good morning, everyone. Very nice to see most of our group involved in the SEACOOP project here today, and also friends from Dante and other parts of the Commission. Just a few points to complement some of the points made by other colleagues from the European Commission. I'm working in the International Relations Department of DG Information Society, and we in DG IMSO, of course, recognise the importance that the Commission as a whole attaches to the relationship with ASEAN, with all of the ASEAN countries. ASEAN, of course, is our third largest trading partner outside of the European region. And of course, ICT is a very important part of ASEAN trade. So it's very important also for DG Information Society. The SEACOOP project is, of course, supporting the process of ASEAN ICT research representatives of getting to know how FP7, Framework Programme 7, the ICT part in particular, works, what ASEAN country interests are in it, and also what the interests are on the European side, European industry, European researchers, and the European Commission in what ASEAN researchers' capabilities are and what they have to offer. And for that purpose, we've been spending quite a bit of the last few days at the ICT Research Conference, which is where anyone and everyone who is involved in ICT research in Europe who could get there has been for the last few days. So it's been quite an important place for some of us to be the last few days. The road to being involved, of course, in submitting a successful proposal, or being involved in the submission of a successful proposal for an FP7 research project in the ICT field, involves knowing people. That's really what it boils down to. You have to know your scientists have to know other scientists and researchers in Europe. And for this, conferences such as the ICT conference, networking sessions such as we've had the last few days, seminars such as we're having today on the question of e-infrastructures are incredibly important. And I think that over the last few days, everyone in the SEACOOP group has got to grips with the fact that there's no magic formula, there's no magic backdoor in to becoming involved in projects. What you have to do is really meet people and talk to people and have your ideas or the ideas of your researchers made known to identify possible partners on the European side. And I think we've made a lot of progress there, but that's the route forward over the coming years. We did some extra networking on the side the last few days. There were a number of even though the ASEAN region isn't picked out specifically in the current work programme of the ICT part of FP7, nevertheless the Asian region is mentioned, and also in any case all aspects of the programme are in fact open to third country cooperation. And so picking up on some interest from DG Information Society, we looked at we met representatives from units looking at a number of areas on Internet of Things, ICT for government and public services, for networked and audiovisual technologies, the NEM initiative, intelligent transport, and also ICT for inclusion. So through a series of formal and less formal meetings, a couple of them took place over dinner last night in a rather noisy restaurant, but nevertheless I think the contacts were established, and certainly my DG Information Society colleagues are very well, or much better informed now about what the possibilities are. ASEAN countries are, of course, just as the EU with its 27 member states is, ASEAN countries are at varying stages of, and levels of development. Just as the EU member states. But what I particularly like about the SEACOOP project is that it offers the opportunity for all the ASEAN group, even the peripheral members of the ASEAN group, to learn what the route is to becoming involved in high-level research projects. Perhaps it's not possible to go very far down that route at the present stage. Nevertheless, the knowledge is there to be passed on to others back in the home country to show what the route could be in future. It's often very difficult for outsiders to get to grips with this bottom-up process that we have in becoming involved in research projects. I think that the total involvement of the whole ASEAN group is very well underlined because of the presence in the project of Alex Lim from the ASEAN Secretariat, and I think that's a very important part of this project. Of course, the aim today is to look at the e-infrastructures, and notably the Team 3 in the context of the SEACOOP and the CEUNet projects, to look at the experiences of countries already connected, and to look at experiences and interests of those countries not yet connected, and to examine what the experiences have been of what it's like to be connected and to use the infrastructures, the applications that they can be used for. My experience for the last few years as the ICT counsellor in Beijing for China was that the Chinese research community certainly benefited very strongly from its connections to the e-infrastructure of Europe, and the networks became very fully used within a very short period of time. I think today's discussions are going to be very ably assisted by good friends from the Dante project. David West and his colleagues are here, and also Bernard Fabianek from DG Information Society. And I think with this kind of expertise, you should not hesitate to ask either in open sessions any questions that you may have, even the most basic questions, because today you have the expertise and the people here who are used to giving this information, whose job it is to give this information. And so I hope that today you'll really be able to benefit from the presence of these experts. So with that, I would like to wish you an excellent session today. Thank you very much.